The Bible tells stories of creation and destruction, of faith and betrayal, of love and loss. Woven into this rich fabric are tales of unusual deaths, moments where the veil between the physical and the supernatural seems to thin, revealing glimpses of a power beyond our comprehension. These deaths, often sudden and dramatic, serve as stark reminders of the power of the divine and the consequences of human choices. They challenge us to examine our own lives, our own beliefs, and our place in the grand narrative of existence. Sodom and Gomorrah. These names echo through the annals of history, synonymous with sin and divine retribution. Cities consumed by fire and brimstone, their once bustling streets now silent under the weight of divine judgment. A testament to divine wrath, these ruins stand as a somber reminder of the consequences of moral decay and disobedience. Lot, a righteous man in a wicked city, was warned of the impending doom. He was chosen to escape the fate that awaited Sodom and Gomorrah. He and his family were commanded to flee, to not look back upon the destruction. The urgency of their escape was paramount, their lives hanging in the balance. But his wife, her heart heavy with longing for the life she left behind, hesitated. She turned back, unable to sever the ties to her past. And in that moment of disobedience she was transformed, her body encased in salt, a stark white monument to the perils of longing for what we must leave behind. Her transformation was instantaneous, a chilling metamorphosis that left her as a permanent fixture in the barren landscape. Her fate is a chilling reminder, a stark warning etched in the annals of time. Her story is a testament to the dangers of defiance. Obedience to the divine will, even when it demands sacrifice, is paramount. The story of Lot's wife serves as a powerful lesson in faith and obedience. To cling to the past, to disobey a direct command, can have devastating consequences. Her story is a poignant reminder that sometimes moving forward requires leaving everything behind, no matter how difficult it may be. Korah, a Levite, grew discontent. He challenged Moses' authority, questioning his leadership and the divine order. He gathered followers, men who shared his discontent, and together they rose up in open rebellion against Moses and by extension against God. The earth itself shuddered at their defiance. It split open, a gaping maw swallowing Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, their cries swallowed by the earth. Fire erupted, consuming the remaining dissenters, a terrifying display of divine judgment against those who dared to challenge the established order. The earth closed, silent once more, leaving behind a chilling reminder: rebellion against divine authority carries a heavy price. The Israelites, oppressed under the cruel rule of King Eglon of Moab, cried out desperately for deliverance. Ehud, a left-handed warrior, was chosen to deliver a tribute to the oppressive king, but concealed beneath his cloak was a double-edged sword, a tool of divine retribution and justice. Gaining an audience with the obese king, Ehud struck swiftly. The sword found its mark, plunging deep into Eglon's belly, ending his life. The king fell, his reign of terror brought to an abrupt and bloody end. Ehud's daring act, orchestrated by divine guidance, liberated the Israelites and served as a stark warning to all tyrannical rulers. The Weight of the Crown, the Fall of Abimelech, a tale of ambition, power, and the inevitable consequences of tyranny. Ambition can be a heavy crown, one that often brings more burden than glory. Abimelech, driven by an insatiable lust for power, committed the unthinkable. He murdered his own brothers, all but one, to claim the throne for himself. His hands were stained with the blood of his kin. Once in power, he ruled with an iron fist, showing no mercy to those who opposed him. His reign was marked by relentless violence and oppression. The people suffered greatly under his tyrannical rule, but his brutality did not go unchallenged. The people, driven to desperation, began to resist his tyranny. During a siege, a courageous woman, defending her city with all her might, dropped a millstone from a great height, striking Abimelech on the head and mortally wounding him. Ashamed to be killed by a woman, a fate considered dishonorable in his time, he begged his armor-bearer to end his life. The loyal man complied, delivering the final blow to his master. Abimelech's death was ignominious and painful, a fitting end for a man who had caused so much suffering. His story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the perils of unchecked ambition and ruthless tyranny. The pursuit of power through bloodshed and tyranny may bring temporary success, but it ultimately leads to a downfall, often a brutal and tragic one. The legacy of Abimelech is a stark warning to all who seek power at any cost. Deception's price. The fate of Ananias and Sapphira. In the nascent Christian church, a spirit of generosity and communal living flourished. Ananias and Sapphira, a husband and wife, sold a piece of land, publicly declaring their donation to the apostles while secretly holding back a portion of the proceeds. Their deception did not go unnoticed. Peter, filled with the Holy Spirit, confronted them, exposing their lie. Ananias fell dead, struck down by his dishonesty. Sapphira, arriving shortly after, repeated her husband's lie and met the same fate. Their deaths, swift and unexpected, served as a sobering reminder to the early church. Honesty and integrity were paramount, and even the slightest deception would not be tolerated. The agony of a King Herod's acceptance and its price. Herod Agrippa I, adorned in opulent robes, addressed the people of Tyre and Sidon. Flattery flowed, praising his wisdom and declaring him a god. Herod, drunk on his own ego, failed to silence their blasphemous adulation. He reveled in their praise, accepting it as his due, but his hubris was short-lived. An angel of the Lord struck him down. Herod, his body racked with pain, was consumed by worms and died. His gruesome end serves as a stark reminder: to accept divine praise when it is due only to God is the height of arrogance, an offense worthy of divine retribution. A queen's demise. Jezebel's reign of terror ends. Jezebel, the queen of Israel, was a woman of immense power and ruthlessness. She promoted pagan worship, persecuted the prophets of God, and orchestrated the death of Naboth for his vineyard. But her reign of terror was coming to an end. Jehu, anointed by God to be king, confronted Jezebel. She was thrown from a window, her blood splattering the wall as Jehu's chariot trampled her body. Later, when men went to bury her, they found only fragments of her remains, just as Elijah had prophesied. Jezebel's brutal end, a fulfillment of divine judgment, demonstrates that wickedness and cruelty will inevitably face a reckoning, no matter how powerful the perpetrator. Knowing that a divine promise awaits them. Echoes of mortality, whispers of divinity, these stories woven into the fabric of the Bible resonate with echoes of our own mortality and whispers of a power beyond our understanding. They are cautionary tales, reminders of the consequences of our actions and the importance of living in accordance with divine will. They challenge us to confront our own mortality, to examine our own lives, and to seek a deeper understanding of the divine forces that shape our world. They remind us that life is fleeting, that choices have consequences, and that even in death there is the possibility of transcendence.